On the road. We're live at Arlyn Studios in Austin, Texas right now with Charley Crockett. Charley, thanks for doing this, man.
Pleasure belongs to me, brother.
Yeah, man, dude, the sound check has sounded wonderful. We're about to share a lot of your music with our audience, including one from Music City, the most recent record. We're going to hear one from the previous record, Welcome to Hard Times, and we're going to hear two brand new songs as well, man. What's coming up first?
Well, I'd like to do a little number off of Music City, USA called Are We Lonesome Yet? I've been sitting in a champagne room and on the TV. They say that we're all through and there's an ashtray full of cigarettes talking to me. Are we lonesome yet? You caught me staring at the chandelier. No, I ain't crying. Smoke it, cause these tears, this place is crowded. Folks, they seem upset, I'm just smiling. Are we lonesome yet? In here there's a price to pay. It costs a lot more to stay. Nobody wants to share. Who told you this town was fair? Tell me, are we lonesome yet? I just can't forget the voice talking in my head. Are we lonesome yet? Somebody's talking in the mezzanine, up the staircase, past the ice machine. I think I hear them judging me in jest. I think I'll ask them, are we lonesome yet? This big old city, it's so been hard on me, filled up with people. As far as you can see, electric billboards selling what comes next. They're really saying, are we lonesome yet? In here there's a price to pay. It costs a lot more to stay. Nobody wants to share. Who told you this town was fair? Tell me, are we lonesome yet? I just can't forget the voice asking in my head. Are we lonesome yet? Are we lonesome yet? Tell me, are we lonesome yet?
All right. Well, happy Tuesday afternoon to you, man. This is absolutely delightful. My goodness, to have you here in the studio today. That caught me staring at the chandelier line in that song. I mean, you can just see it. I didn't plan this, but so there's a camera on me right now, and that chandelier I have stared at a whole lot because in the chandelier room is where Stevie Ray Vaughan did the overdubs to the Live Alive album. There's just so much history in this place, and it's such a delight to be here and to have your vibrations reverberating with the 40 whatever years of history in this place. Can we talk a little bit about the environment that you recorded in? I know that that Music City was done at Soil of the South in Valdosta, and I know you got a chance to work with Mark Neal again, and he produced both of the last two records, which I know you're about to play one from Welcome to Hard Times. What does the room itself look like, and what does that relationship between you and Mark look like when you sit down to create together?
Well, I really want to thank y'all for having me and tell you that Tuesday is my very favorite day of the week, man.
It's mine now, too.
It really is. And, well, the little studio in Georgia that Mark works out of, I kind of always describe it as like a 4-person insurance firm from 1960 in the front and a bait and tackle shop in the back. It's actually an old ballet school, and South Georgia's real sleepy, kind of isolated place, and you can go stir crazy in a town like that, but one thing's for sure, there's no distractions, and I think that's part of why those records maybe have a little bit of some like magic on them, was because, you know, the only thing I was there to do was cut a record, and there's like a haunting kind of thing in South Georgia that just kept me real focused.
Yeah, and I would imagine that, I mean, add pandemic to an already sleepy town, and then you've got plenty of ability to focus with nothing else.
Nothing.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, I've been enjoying it very much, as I am enjoying these live renditions here with us today, and there's a lot more to be shared. What do you want to do second today?
Man, I was just sitting over in that control room that you showed me a little bit earlier, and I wrote this song called Lily, My Dear on a banjo. But I thought it would sound pretty nice on an acoustic, and that's on the Welcome to Hard Times record. I thought I'd try it out for y'all. Let's see here. Don't judge me too hard on this one. Lily, my darling, Lily, my dear, what awful reason are you standing down here? Is it for money? Is it for pride? Just for the joy of making me cry? Actually, can I start that one over? Is that cool? Let me try it one more again. Yeah. I wrote this with a few knuckleheads, Colin Colby, Vincent Neil Emerson, and South Texas Tweak. Lily, my darling, Lily, my dear, what awful reason are you standing down here? Is it for money? Is it for pride? Just for the joy of watching me cry? I've gambled in Texas, been all around, stood on the corner, not a word in my mouth, seen lots of people come rolling by, throw me $1, I can so use me 5. Lily, my darling, Lily, my dear, what awful reason have you come down here? Is it for money? Is it for pride? Just for the joy of watching me cry? I've got no possessions, no money I've saved. All that I'm asking is for dirt on my grave. So honey, if you love me, just let me be. Lord, in this life I can't get no relief. Lily, my darling, Lily, my dear, what awful reason have you come down here? Is it for money? Is it for pride? Just for the joy of watching me cry? No peace for the guilty, no rest for the sinning. When I get out, I'll finally be winning. If the good times don't kill me, the devil he will lay me to rest on a mockingbird hill. Lily, my darling, Lily, my dear, what awful reason have you come down here? Is it for money? Is it for pride? Or just for the joy of watching me die?
All right. Thanks, man. That's a great song. We
Thank you.
so I know that your life before music. I mean, there's nothing before music. Music's always been in you, but before it was a career of yours. That you traveled a lot and lived kind of anywhere and did what was necessary to make money and harvested weed and sold weed back before weed was legal in most places, as it should be. But you were around a lot and continue to be around professionally. You've got a ton of dates coming up between now and 2022. My question for you is, when everything slowed down, when everything shut down over the last year and a half, whatever that it's been, what sort of, did you continue traveling around and living that transient life, or were you a bit more stationary? And if you were more stationary like everybody else, what was the thing that took up the space in your life that travel used to take up?
No, we didn't stay still, man. I had bought a truck kind of right after the pandemic. Hadn't had my own vehicle in a while, and me and my lady, we just piled in that old diesel and drove the tar out of that thing and hid out in the desert and Mountain West, far west Texas, New Mexico, those places. And I just kept writing and made a lot of music videos to the Welcome to Hard Times record from last year, just because I had the time to do it, and before the pandemic and kind of already again, I never really can look too far ahead of the next day. And, mostly I'm just trying to get enough sleep to get up and play the show the next day and then make sure my suits are pressed. That takes a lot of effort in and of itself, living on a bus. So, no, we really, I used to hitchhike and just generally wandered pretty hard when I played on the street and all that kind of stuff. And, being on a bus is pretty similar. And then when we're not on the bus, I like to get in the truck and really clock a lot of miles that way.
Good, man. Well, that's. I'm glad to hear that was the case for you. That you always had a project and a thing to do back in a time when a lot of people had no idea what to do with themselves. It's certainly better that way than the alternative. When you know what you're doing and there's a purpose, things aren't so challenging.
Yeah.
So good, man. Yeah, I'm glad that worked that way for you and that you're back out on the road. You're in the middle of a forever tour, right? I mean, stuff announced all the way through New Year's, beyond New Year's, man. There's Stagecoach 2022, and there's probably 50 dates on your website, man. It's heavy. Yeah. So thank you. I'm glad that you're out and people get a chance to see what you do and hear what you do live.
I like to stay working. It's the one thing I'm real good at.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for doing it here with us today, and we're about to hear 2 brand new ones from you next. Right? What's coming up third today?
I want to try this little number I wrote called Cowboy Candy, if that's all right. You saw my photograph as you was walking in, an invitation to the world I'm living in. I've got my clean shirt starched up, all brand new. I'm about to do-si-do because my bills are all due. Cowboy candy, cowboy candy, yeah, 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 yeah. So it's cowboy candy when I get up, and if they call my name, I hope I have enough. It's sure to make this suffering just to disappear. That's why you see me smiling from ear to ear. Cowboy candy, cowboy candy, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm a long way from the promised land. Believe I once knew grace until it slipped my hand. So don't slow down, boys, on account of me. I've been biting down on that cowboy candy. Cowboy candy. Cowboy candy. Yep, yep, yep.
All right. Thank you, Charlie. Man, so we got a chance a little bit to talk offline before this started about reading, which is probably a very natural fit for driving around in the western states and being out in wide open spaces with a bit of time on your hands. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been reading, or what's maybe, I mean, I know what you're reading right now. I want the internet to know what you're reading right now, but also anything that you've gotten into over the last couple of years that really caught your interest.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm reading the Joe Nick Petoskey penned Willie Nelson autobiography, which is one of my favorites I've read. His, and I read actually I read a couple of them on George Jones during the pandemic last year, but I've been reading Willie's on the bus, and it's just so amazing. You know, I mean, we all know he's, you know, easily one of the greatest American songwriters and performers of our time, of any time. But in somebody like that, they never come out of nowhere, and his background is just really more unbelievable than I could have imagined it was. So I've really been enjoying that, and it's just so I can identify with it so much for the, you know, how Texas centric it is, and you know, the long road that Willie's been on, and especially to like kind of break through to an audience, you know, because he had some success as a songwriter early on in Nashville, but he really wasn't, you know, he's a little bit older than I am now before he really broke through. And sometimes, it takes that, you know, sometimes it takes a whole lifetime to really make it happen. And so that's my takeaway from that is if Willie Nelson can keep it going, I'm going to try to do the same thing.
Yeah, man, that's great. And it's so fun to have you here in this room. The Luck family reunion, this place, Willie's place, it's all very much part of the same family. And that record over your left shoulder right there, that's the gold record for Redheaded Stranger, which was not recorded here. That was recorded before this place existed, but it's just Willie history is here. So that's really cool to have you here.
You can feel it, boy. You can feel it. You can smell it.
Yeah, dude, I don't think the camera is sensitive enough to see my goosebumps, but I assure you the internet that, just talking about it gives me goosebumps every time.
You mean you got chicken skin too?
Yes, sir. So there's one more new one coming up right now. What do you feel like playing fourth today?
If y'all would humor me, I want to try a little number I wrote called All the Way from Atlanta. It goes a little something like this. I came here all the way from Atlanta with nothing but leaving to my name. I saw Shreveport through a window against. Actually, I got to do it one more time. Is that all right? Yeah. Sorry to any folks watching. Never said I was mistake-free. Here it is. All the way from Atlanta. I came here all the way from Atlanta with nothing but losing to my name. I saw Shreveport through a window against a curtain made of pines. I was crying when I made Dallas. So much you'd have thought it was rain. I pulled in to the town of Amarillo to buy myself a little bit of relief. I thought I saw her as I passed Gallup, standing outside the El Rancho, but I was mistaken. My imagination was just playing tricks on me. It sure is awful hot here in Phoenix, the land of the painted desert sky, where they're yet to discover or uncover the Dutchman's gold. I hear tell of a fountain in the Superstition Mountains. It's a story that has often been told. I find myself crossing the Great Mojave, steady keeping the red and white lights company. She was born in Houston, raised up in Tennessee, but she lived in Georgia with me. So if you see her, would you please tell her I'm all the way from Atlanta. I come all the way from Atlanta, and I cried all the way from Atlanta.
Yes. Thank you, man, so much for coming here. And the song All the Way from Atlanta, just like Paste Magazine, is All the Way from Atlanta. It's an Atlanta original. Man, dude, this has been great. Thank you for doing this. And I look forward to crossing paths again. We'll be out here doing this indefinitely as long as we can keep it going, and travel safely between your many, many, many tour dates between now and Stagecoach, and, of course, beyond that.
It's been an honor and a pleasure.